What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Indescribable, and I'm hanging out with my bestie,
Lynee Monae, and this is the She Said It First podcast on Urban One on the Urban One Podcast Network. Period.
That was spicy, friend. I like that. I like what you did right there.
Thank you. It must be the hair.
It's because it's giving. I got a new attitude. It's giving. Stop playing with me.
Yes.
It's giving. If you don't get in line, I'll have my father shut all of this down. It's giving. Yes.
Yes. Thank you, friend.
Wealthy. Yes, I love it too. So you got no hair, so I know it come with a new perspective. So tell me, friend. Before we get into it, I want you guys to check in with us on speakpipe.com/she said it first. Make sure you're leaving us your comments, your advice requests, all that stuff. But right now, we want to get into what irritated you this week.
So I just came to the conclusion that, like, it's funny you brought up the hair too. If you can work with people in China, you can master and work with anybody. I'm almost certain of it. Because they're going to keep you up to the wee hours. You know, we on a different time zone. I ain't got no sleep talking to these people 3 o'clock in the morning. It's in the middle of the day for them. They having a great time, girl. Also, not to mention, they've been stealing my wig videos. Girl, just stealing. I make more money for people having to pay me for stealing my videos than I do for my actual videos. Cease and desist, and you paying for it. That's how I feel, girl. I got to send them emails out. I done seen my stuff all over Facebook. Y'all been stealing. Ain't nobody told me nothing, girl. I'm irritated. I'm highly annoyed. So let me just say this: if y'all see me somewhere and I did not say the company's name, it's stolen. Okay? If I didn't say the company's name and it's chopped up, it is stolen. Girl, ruining my reputation. I'm pissed.
That's why would they do that? That is so. We get into content creation stuff all the time, but people that steal content, like, there's a special place in hell for you. Probably
Seriously.
VIP with no drinks. So I don't know.
For
it's
real.
getting hot, burning for eternity. Well, that would piss me off too. Same kind of vein, service industry. These food service delivery, these delivery charges for these food services. The food is already $35.16. Why do I need to also pay you $35 for you to bring it here? And then, God forbid, I want a priority order. That's another $12 plus the tip. At this point, you done ate your tip up. You better grab some fries at the bottom of that bag. Help yourself. Because
hell no.
Inflation?
I feel you. I definitely feel you. Uber Eats is so expensive. Like, everything is so expensive. I feel your pain, friend, because I don't always want to cook, and I just don't always want to go somewhere. So to not have that convenience and know that you're literally paying double for them to bring it to you, I feel you. I feel you.
Because what I'm not going to do is get out the bed and go get it. So, moving on. Okay, so, girl, ask me what happened.
Girl, what happened?
Birdman done went to the prison, child, to talk to the inmates. And so some of you may have seen this clip floating around social media. But Cash Money founder and CEO Birdman was talking to some inmates about what they need as far as help at the Orleans Parish Prison in Louisiana. This is how the conversation went.
I help y'all. We have no access to. We have no access to. I have enough power to make that happen. Okay, well, we need inside help for his leadership. For these guys having books to read on the criminal law. You think read books? I don't like read books as well.
Child, Birdman is ignorant. Like, that right there, telling them people stay stupid is wild. That's a wild way to start. Like, to say, what you need books for? Why you want to read? Baby, what else they supposed to do? He think they going to come up with jailbreak records in jail? Like, they can't start a record label, okay? They just can't start a record label. And the fact that you don't read no books is scary at your big age. And you know what else is saying? Every time I see a clip of you, it's because you just stupid and dumb. Don't nobody want to be dumb like you. Stop passing that down for generations and generations and generations. Relax. Like, oh my God.
1,000%. I feel like telling people that they don't need books, when you're standing here saying, I have the power to make change in your current life, and they're asking you for books, and you're here with a bubble vest. I'm not taking advice from a man whose vest is swollen. I'm not doing it. You know what? So many other decisions could have been made, and you brought your Ninja Turtle looking self
Girl.
in here to tell me that I shouldn't be reading. Sir, buy these books and go on about your business. These folks done told you what they want. Don't go in here with this I'm going to help people mentality and then determine what kind of help they need. They just told you what they... You know what? I should have put this under what irritated me today, because if I tell you what I need and you say, oh, I don't think you need that, how you know better than me what I need?
That part.
It don't make no sense.
Girl, it is so crazy because I have watched so many people in jail, like, read up and get their GED, like study law books and things like that, and come out and feel so much more empowered. They're able to walk in rooms confidently, like, speak articulately. Like, they really present themselves differently because now they have knowledge from all the things that they had time to read up on in jail. So that's just wild to me that you would sit up there and make it seem like it's something you don't need when knowledge is key. And you know what's sad is that a long time ago they said if you want to hide something from a black person, put it in a book. And you standing behind that narrative, why would you want to stand behind that? Why wouldn't you want them to be something better? Like, are you scared they might be better than you? Like, I'm not understanding where he was going with trying to put that out into the community. And then with our black men also. Why are we trying to keep them at the bottom? If anything, we should always be trying to encourage them to advance in any way in their life, especially while they in jail. They want to do better in jail. Great. The more you do it while you're doing time in there, when you get out, you can get straight to it. You can get straight to it. You don't have to lag or wait or anything. Like, it's just weird to me, like, to want somebody to stay stagnant.
Well, for me, education has always been a universal equalizer, right? Mm-hmm. If I don't know what you know, I can't compete with you. Mm-hmm. So if I haven't had the training and the skills to do what you do, I don't know how to be the best player in the game, right? So keeping people ignorant, it's a form of dominance. Yes. It's control. And not saying that he's the one who's trying to be in power or in control over these people, but you're doing them a disservice by suggesting that they don't need books. If they just told you that that's what they want and they feel like that that's a necessity in the current state that they're in, right, why not just... It's books, bro. Like, you can go to the library and get some books. A lot of programs have like, they do like in the front of some schools or educational facilities, they'll have like I don't know, I can't think of the term for it, but it's like they give away free books. You just come and take one. They say you can leave a donation, but you can go to the thrift store, Goodwill or something like that. You can always just pick up books. So if they're saying, you know, that they want to have a library system where they can order books, somebody bring them in and they return them after a certain period of time. Like, there's a way to do everything. And these people are not asking for anything crazy.
It almost made me feel like they wanted him, like he wanted them to ask for like a gold chain. Like, bet I could do that. Like, why? I just think that's crazy.
What would be the purpose? What would be the purpose for that? Like, a book is a way to further your education and advance yourself. It's self-development. Why would you be against someone wanting to better themselves? Is it wilder? It's crazy that that's, you know, what we having to take away from this conversation. Because I don't know. I feel a way when people go to prisons and anyway, because what you in there to do? It's people in there with life.
Yeah.
Get these people these books and go about your business.
And go about your life. All you had to do was say, cool, I got you. I'm going to get you some books on how to be a producer, how to start your own business, entrepreneurship. Let me tell you about the music industry. Like, you could have really finessed this moment and I would have looked at you so different, but still, I'm still looking at you as ignorant. And that's all the time. Every time you come on social media, it's because you are the most ignorant person ever. Do better. Do better. Read some books on it. Read some knowledge, okay?
Right. And my favorite thing about Birdman, I'm gonna be honest, when he went on a Breakfast Club and he rolled down on Charlamagne. Yes. Baby, stop all three of y'all. Listen here. Listen here. You be talking tough when I'm not around. You hear me? So now I'm here. What's up? Stop playing with my name.
Okay. Put some respect on my name.
Put some respect on my name. I'm not playing with you heard me? Babe, I love New Orleans accent, but I am not here for the banning of the books in the prison. Like, that's insane.
No.
But speaking of men, you know, anyway, June is also Men's Mental Health Month. And so staying in the course of that, you know, often at times we talk about, you know, men on here. But when was the last time you checked on the men in your life? You know, ask them how they doing, and not just in a superficial way, but really asking them. Because I feel like reading books and and expanding your education and your level of intelligence, I feel like that's a way to stimulate mental health as well. So when's the last time you checked on somebody? What was the conversation like, and what do you think maybe we could do better, as women to kind of support them in their mental health journey?
No, and you know what, Jerrilyn? Like, I could do so much better. When you said, the thing is I check on them, you said not superficially. That's where you got me. You know what I mean? Saying you okay or you good, and them just writing back, yeah, and not really digging deeper. I have not done that. And I apologize to the men that's really close to me and my family, because I do be like, how you doing? Everything good? And it's always, yeah, I'm straight. But I never go beyond that. And I wish that I will. And now that we having this conversation, I definitely will. I just feel like, I don't know. I guess as women, sometimes we look at men as providers, strong, able to take on the world, like not as emotional. And so sometimes you forget that they just need you sometimes to just listen and not always comment, dig a little deeper. That's kind of where I'm coming from, is even though they saying they okay, like maybe finding the right questions where they have to give you an answer, instead of just taking that very vague, I'm good or everything is okay, as a response, really trying to figure out how to get to the bottom of maybe what's going on or not going on. Even if they are saying I'm okay, like, oh, well, cool, what made it good? Like, asking more questions. I don't think we're asking enough questions, and also making ourselves available for it not to be something wrong. Like, I think as women, if they do say something's not right, like, how can you kind of take the load off of them? Like, how can you contribute to making it lighter, versus like being argumentative? What I notice a lot in comments and stuff like that when these type of questions come up. And it's like, how can we make it easier for men? How can we help them feel more included, or like they can talk about depression, anxiety, or feeling out like an outcast? We always say, well, they don't make us feel like we're included, or like we're not an outcast. And I think maybe less of that, maybe less of the comparison and more of understanding and just listening.
I think that's a great perspective. I love that you transparently said, hey, I have not been doing a good job. I also want to not necessarily counter that, but I want to mention that, we live in a very patriarchal society. And so men are not taught to have emotions. This has been perpetuated for years, go make the money, be a provider, don't show no weakness, because crying is a weakness. Being vulnerable is a weakness. And I think that we need to kind of shift that mindset to let them know, like, it's okay for you to have emotions. And a lot of men only know how to express anger. Like that's a secondary emotion. What you really are feeling is hurt. You're feeling mistreated. You're feeling unappreciated. And that turns into, lashing out. And so I think the people that need to know the most that men's mental health is important is men. Like, it's harder for them to go to therapy. They commit suicide at much higher rates a lot of times. And so if you feel like there's a quote that a lot of people repurpose, and it says, be the change you want to see, right? Or if you want to have a friend, show yourself friendly, things of that nature. And so when I think about the things that I need, I try to be those things to other people. So I'll be honest, I do check in with my homeboys. I don't have a lot of them, but I have friends, like whether they're married or single or whatever, I have friends that I just say, hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. I hope you're doing okay. What's been going on? And I just let them tell me what they want to tell me. I try to read between the lines and offer something if I can, but I also don't want to pry, because, some men don't be ready to share, and that's okay. But I need them to know that, like, at least with, maybe not in relationships, clearly not in relationships, because I can't keep no man, but in my friendships, all my niggas know.
But I feel you. Same.
My homeboys know. They be like, you can tell me anything. It's not going to end up in the video. I'm not going to blast you on social media.
Yeah.
And so, like, I know that my friends feel like I'm a good friend to them, and I'm proud of that. Like, I strive to do that. But, men have to get to a point where they're willing to accept that we are emotional creatures. We can cry. We have vulnerabilities. We need to be held and strengthened and supported in ways that they might not be able to communicate it all the time. And I think that's where the conflict comes from, because I'm not going to be able to read your mind. If you're having a hard day and you come in here taking it out on everybody, that's not a way to provide a safe space. But like you said, like, not being critical or judgmental, not necessarily having something to say,
Yeah.
just being a listening ear. So when that man does decide to open up, you know, he understands that this is a quality atmosphere where I can let my guard down, not feel attacked, because they probably do in every other area of their life.
Yeah.
They probably do feel unappreciated. So when you come to, you know, me, your woman, your lady, whatever, this should be a space where you can just lay it all out on the table and know that it's not going to go outside
Absolutely.
of this space, you know?
You know what I'm thinking about while you're talking is like what I saw that post, I looked in there and you know unanimously what a lot of men said contributes to their anxiety and depression?
Women.
Finances.
Oh, okay. That was going to be my next guess. I thought it was a trick question. I'm sorry.
Finances. Yeah, I'm crying.
I'm sorry. That was going to be a trick question. My bad.
Finances. Get out my face. Finances. And I'm like, I've realized that a lot of what men do and how they kind of are viewed in the world, or how they show up in the world, is based around like their finances. Like if their finances are not in order or intact, then that man is not well. He is not okay. Because I do believe that most men, not all, but most of them would like to be providers. And maybe not for everybody, but at least for themselves.
Right.
At least they would like to provide for themselves. And if you can't get your like bare necessities, then like, dang, you know, like you feel some type of way. So when you were talking, I was thinking, I'm like, you know, a guy that's in financial crisis comes to his wife and kind of just telling her, you know, I'm going through this, I'm feeling this way, whatever the case may be. And then I'm sorry, I'm laughing. This is not funny. Why am I laughing? Oh my God. No, because then she take that opportunity to start panicking. And like, oh my God, we don't have no money. We broke. Like, what we gonna do? Like, that is the last thing.
Right.
That I think that's another reason why they don't talk to us, because when they tell us certain stuff, we will begin to panic sometimes and make the situation worse. Like, I just think we need not to do that, you know, like maybe just hear him out, hear some of his solutions or offer solutions. But I know that some women do panic in situations like that because it feels like they don't have it together, and they like need him to have it together, and like not creating a space where he feels like, I'm trying to get it together, I don't have it right now, I got some ideas, I'm working on it. I know that can send some women kind of kooky. So that's all I was saying.
No, I definitely understand that. I think it depends. To me, it depends on the level of the relationship and intimacy. Because if you're just a man that I'm talking to, baby, you need to figure that out.
You need to get some more money. What'd you say?
Go get some more money. Figure it out, baby. But if me and you been rocking for a while, we live together, we in a committed relationship, I'm not going to panic. I'm going to sit down and I'm going to be like, okay, well, what do we need to do? How do we need to move our finances around? Do we need more income, or do we need to cut back on bills to, adjust for the deficit? Like, what is it that we need to do? Because I'm a business person, right? I'm an entrepreneur. So my mind is always balanced, give and take. I'm always thinking this way. So when it comes to a man that I'm dealing with on that level, my first thing out my mouth is, okay, well, what is it that we need to do to rectify this, and how can I help? Because I guess because I just know
what can I do
I'm
to
the type
help?
of person, like, if the money start looking funny, I'm gonna just work harder. Like, I don't have the time to panic about it. In my mind, I'm just like, well, shoot, I just got to close a few more deals. I got to make more content. I got to reach out to more. I got to be more aggressive about how I make my money. That's what I'm thinking. And I think sometimes, I don't know, it's a catch-22. It's a catch-22 because sometimes women that be too independent or too financially stable, it backfire on them. And I think it's because of the insecurity. It don't even necessarily be the income of the man. It's the way the man feels about himself. And so finances usually do make a man feel insecure. But if you have money and you still insecure, it's a lot worse. So I'm just like, baby, go to therapy. Like, maybe the therapist has some financial options. Just see what she say. Like, talk to her. Maybe she can refer you to like an accountant or a business manager or something like that. But I'm always looking for like, what's the most creative we can get to make some more money, you know?
Yeah, how can we like not just sit here and allow me to pick up the weight, all of it? You know what I mean? Like, I definitely want you to still be trying while I'm out here making it happen. That's just like a big thing for me, because I've been in situations where I was the only one providing for the both of us, and I just can't imagine that. You know what I mean? Again, so I think I need to see effort if that's the case, like, I need to see effort. I need to see you out there doing that. Also, another thing I was thinking about is, like, I wonder, and I would like the guys to sound off. Like, let us know, because we're not men. We can only tell you from our perspective what we think is going on. So I really would like to hear how you guys feel. When you guys are hanging with your boys, are y'all having real conversations? Like, are y'all talking about, like, your mental health, or, like, what's y'all conversations in y'all dude groups? Like, are y'all really checking in with each other for real, for real? Or is this person just kind of telling you what's going on? You like, dang, that's messed up. I'm sorry to hear that, Slim. And then y'all move on to something else. Like, I also want to hold y'all friend groups accountable, because those are your homeboys. Them the people that know you. They supposed to know you the best. And I feel like y'all got to learn how to be more vulnerable in y'all circle as well, and hold yourself accountable when it comes to serious situations that's going on in your life. Like, I don't know if people are doing that, though. That's why I said I want y'all to tell me, because I don't know if y'all having the conversations. I've been around a lot of guys, that's having conversations. They ain't been talking about nothing. They don't be talking about nothing but women. That's it.
And
that's all they care about is women. And when the next time they go, and basketball, when the next time they going out, like, it's chill. So I don't know. I feel like if it's not a woman you can confide in, maybe you can utilize your guy group. You never know. They might have some good advice.
I agree with that. I think we just all need to better use our circle. We talked about this last time. We need to just make sure we're utilizing the people around us in the best way, not using them, but everybody has a function, right? We're not designed to be alone. So if you're my friend, can I call you with this and be transparent and vulnerable? And can you honestly hold me accountable, and tell me what is right, regardless of if we're going to have a disagreement about it, or if the conversation is going to get tricky, it takes a village. We say this all the time as like a throwaway, but it really does. Like, we really do need community, and we are herd animals, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like, we thrive when we work together, which is so crazy because the government can't seem to understand that. But anyway, I just think we should all do a better job of, sticking together. And so to that point, also in the news, speaking about mental health and community, girl, our friend, Chrisean Rock, her baby is now in state custody. So for those of you who don't know, Blueface is already in jail, which I didn't know this. Blueface is in jail, and Chrisean Rock went to court to support him, and child, they locked her up too. So now she's going to spend, so she's going to spend at least the next 30 days in jail. She also got some charges in Oklahoma for drug charges, or for either drug trafficking or possession. So she could be in, prison even longer.
My God, Jesus.
So CPS is taking a baby. I'm concerned because we've seen this play out very publicly, right? We've seen the domestic violence. We've seen the emotional and verbal abuse publicly between these two.
The alcoholism.
And we're wondering, because of, backgrounds and upbringings, childhood, things like that, is this a good thing to put the child in foster care? Like, is there somebody else in the family that should step up? Or are we willing to bet that maybe the family might not be a better option either? Like, I don't know. It's a tricky situation. What you think, friend?
Oh, Jesus. I think, I'm so irritated by it. I'm not going to lie. Because I watch this girl be surrounded by people all the time. Every time she on live, every time a camera's out, she is surrounded by people. And you mean to tell me you surrounded by all these people and not one person, not one, could step up to just take care of your child for 30 days while you was in jail? On top of that, you went to jail and you was there with Blueface's father as well as his mother. The grandparents of the kids was there, and neither one of them stepped up to take the baby. Why? Because the father was talking about me and her don't have a relationship. What that got to do with the child? That's still that don't take away the fact that that's your grandchild. So you just want to have a bachelor pad while Blueface in jail? Like, cool, bet. I'm on my own. I'm out here just doing me. Cool. The mother can't stay off live, child. She just can't watch the kids because she just gonna be on live. She don't want to give up her live.
She got a job.
Like, she on there from 9 to 5. Like, she got a job. She's like, I need to be on live from 9 to 5. I can't watch this baby. Like, girl, that pisses me off, girl. I don't know, when you get out of jail, I don't know how many bridges you done burnt, because we know you can burn them down. I don't watch you do it. You can burn them down. But you need to recalculate who you got around you. Because if you got that many people around you, including the 19 siblings that you got, because girl, she got a bunch of siblings, and now one person can step forth to watch your child for 30 days.
Not even that. You got all these people around you that can't help you with the custody of your child, but also don't encourage you to make smarter choices. Like, that's my
Decisions.
thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's surrounded by a bunch of people, but she ain't got no friends. And we see this a lot with celebrities in this industry. Like, everybody fake. They're around you for what they think you can do for them, or some kind of monetary benefit, or they trying to get on and be plugged with somebody else. They trying to meet somebody else. But like, it's the whole industry is fake and corrupt. And it's just unfortunate because she's already at a disadvantage coming from, you know, her childhood situation. And so when you see a generational curse up close, it's scary because she's surrounded by people who probably just take from her. And so she might have thought she was doing the right thing by going to jail.
And then you see two people.
Exactly. She thought she was doing the right thing by going to the court to support her baby daddy. Whole time, man, put your hands behind your back. You're going to jail. Hang tight. Hang tight.
Yeah, hang real tight. Hang real tight.
These are your new clothes.
To see both of them come from like that type of background and get together, scary. That was the scariest thing I have watched online outside of Jocelyn Hernandez and Stevie J. That was another crazy relationship that played out. The dysfunction of it all. Because she was on, you know, they both was doing drugs. But I ain't seen nothing that wild in a long time. To watch both of them come from dysfunctional backgrounds and then find each other, scariest thing I've ever watched. The tattoos of him, his name.
His face.
It's excessive. And then you look at him and girl, he don't got now one tattoo.
And you know what? It's strange to me that we're talking about this, but like, I think people need to do a better job of vetting the area, the environment that your partner comes from. Like, I know people say, oh, his mom or dad is in his life. But let's talk about the dynamic, because some people secretly want to be married to their mother. Some people secretly want to be married to their dad. Some people never saw a successful relationship in their life. Side note, today is actually my parents' 41st marriage anniversary. So it's crazy that we're talking about this.
Anniversary!
Thank you. Shout out to them for showing me something different.
Yes.
So it's crazy that we're talking about this on today. But when you see your parents interacting and communicating and being partners, and you desire that in life, and then you meet a bunch of people back to back to back whose daddies weren't there, that is scary to me, because I'm thinking like probably what a child is thinking at that age. Why your daddy didn't want you? Why they didn't want to provide for you and your mom. There's so many questions surrounding this. So I feel like if we do a better job of not saying that these people can't love or don't deserve love. I'm saying that there's a lot of work that has to be done to unlearn certain things that we learned in childhood. And even as I come from a 2-parent functional household, I go to therapy every week for some things. So I know for a fact that y'all who never seen your daddy, or maybe your mom had multiple men that you don't know who your father is, or maybe your dad got 20 children and you never felt like a priority. I don't know, whatever the situation may be. Like, we all need some level of deconstruction in our lives so we can rebuild the right things, because at the end, like at the core level, the foundation is off. You can't build a house on rocky foundation. It won't stand. That's the Bible.
Especially
that's
if you've never seen it.
That's common sense. You know what I mean? So we have to start building better so things can sustain, long term.
I'm telling you, I resonate with this so much, because coming from a single parent household and never seeing my mother, I seen her have relationships, but it was never no man in my house. That man was never in my house. And if he was in my house, I wasn't it. So trying to, even at my big age, trying to navigate that, like, not, just trying to navigate this, like, super independence, right? Like, just always feeling like I got it. I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Her goal was to protect me. But when you get older and you want to be in relationships and you ain't got no blueprint, you don't have no blueprint. You don't know how to share a space with someone else. You don't know what it takes to even, like, understand that, somebody else may have an opinion about this. Like, if I want pizza today, I'm ordering pizza, but if they don't, then we need to come to an agreement on like what we both want. Like, just certain things that just resonate with me. You just hit my heart, because there is literally so many things I am unlearning in therapy right now, because I'm realizing that it is actually hindering me from like even wanting to be in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, even wanting to take the steps to be in a relationship, be successful in the relationship, like knowing what it takes. Like, of course, I've been in relationships, but just at my age, I want to do it so much better. I want to have so much more patience in certain situations. Like, people deserve grace, because I don't have it all the way together, and I'm expecting grace from them, but I'm not giving it in return. So it's just like, girl.
That's so crazy that, because when we talk about hyper independence, like, it's so crazy that yours stems from a lack of a father and mine stems from an ever present father. Like, I know how to get up and go get it regardless, because that man taught me. And my mother was right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like he taught me, these are the things that you should expect from a man, but also if the man don't show up, you got to know how to do this on your own, And so I felt like I had like a semi-healthy balance, but even I'm also learning that sometimes my father was, because he was such a provider and such a disciplinarian, I'm also learning that sometimes I felt the need to overperform, and sometimes I felt held to unrealistic expectations. And so I'm also hyper independent, because if I ain't dependent on you, I don't have to please you. I don't have to meet your standards. I guess I just got to please myself. So when I say it is, girl, multi-layered, take your ass to therapy. I don't care what type of family you grew up in. Please go to therapy.
Go talk to the lady.
Go talk to that lady.
Please go talk to the lady.
We should really do. We should do a whole series on mental health and get like feedback from guests and have them on the show and just dive deeper into that, because I think that a lot of people feel like having two parents in the home is the blueprint they feel. And sometimes if that father is abusive or emotionally destructive, it's not a good thing to have a two-parent home. So there's a lot of different dynamics that go on with that. So I think it's such a multifaceted conversation.
That's real. Because you definitely brought it to my attention. I swear, Jerrilyn, like, I would have never thought that was the blueprint for me. I always was like, that was the problem. I didn't grow up in a two-parent household. So to hear you say that, I totally agree. Because, like, to hear your perspective and the fact that we have that in common and we come from two totally different households is crazy. Like, what? That's crazy. So it's like, I totally agree. I think we should have an episode talking about mental health and just like different backgrounds and how we still have similarities. Like, the things you think you want, not that I don't want it, I still would have loved that, but you never know what it come with though, So
I think we should do a live session where we have a psychoanalyst come on and tell us in front of all our viewers what is wrong with us.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm not ready. I ain't had enough sessions for that.
Girl, the way that lady goes, she gonna look at my timeline. She gonna be like, sis, we're gonna have to meet twice a week.
Girl. Yeah, I'm not ready, Jerrilyn. Let's have her do other people.
Girl.
She can do other people.
Well, one thing that usually helps, when it comes to mental health and regulating that, people always say self-care. Make sure you're loving on yourself, taking care of yourself. And one thing that I noticed is I connect, like I have a relationship with God, but it's all through music. And when you go to my page, that's the type of content that you see. It's funny stuff, but it's music too. And so music to me is a universal language. People might not understand the lyrics, but they understand the mood. They understand the tone. They understand the emotion that's packed into these songs. Yes. And so our good brother, Kendrick Lamarington Weston III, anyway, I've been watching Game of Thrones. So sometimes you gotta pop out and show what, girl.
Oh, hey, don't get stopped.
He
Girl,
did that
don't
concert,
play
sis. And
it.
I never wanted to be from LA so bad.
I
I was like,
loved
oh my
it.
gosh, I could have been a Crip or something.
So bad.
I could have been
And
gangbanging.
so at that time, I had decisions. I could have been a Blood or I could have been a Crip because they was united. Like
Yes.
I didn't have to choose. I could have been. I could have worn purple.
Girl, he
I could have
brought
been purple. I could have blended them
everybody
together and showed
out.
up
When I
in
say it
purple.
was a win for the West Coast, he brought everybody out. West
It
Side
really was.
Boogie,
It was.
DJ Mustard, Ty Dolla $ign, YG. He had Russell
Yes.
Westbrook, NBA player, Dr. Dre,
Yes.
like 5 times back to back. Like if anybody was questioning who won the diss,
It's crazy.
like it wasn't Drake. I'm gonna just tell you that. It wasn't Aubrey. It was not Wheelchair Jimmy for sure. Not Mr. Graham. So I love that, you know, that's one of the things that always brings us together. So, you know, it's also, there's a lot of things going on this month. There's Men's Mental Health Month, there's Pride Month, and then there's Black Music Month. So, you know, Atlanta just wrapped up their birthday bash weekend. I was in attendance for some of the events. And this year we had our first woman headliner. Big Lotto was in the building. And so it was just really.
Yes.
Girl,
Big
it was
Lotto,
a time,
not the little one.
When I tell you, I'm looking back at the foot now. Auntie's old, okay? So my back and my knees wouldn't allow me to go to the concert.
Stop.
But our girl brought out Summer Walker, 21 Savage. Usher came through. Shout out to the A in a major way. These concerts really be uniting people. So I would like to know, what was the first concert you remember ever going to?
Girl, what Scream Tour with Bow Wow. That was my very first concert. Girl. I was like 13. What? No. Wait, what? Friend, what was you doing? There was nothing else to do. Tickets. What could you have possibly been doing?
Tickets, and I was in Christian camp. Girl. I was in Bible study.
Oh, God.
I hate it here.
You couldn't listen to the circular music. Dog on Jerrilyn, I was at that concert living my best life. I was 13. It felt like I was at the club. I ain't never been to the club. It felt like I was at the club, friend. I had the shirt. I had the sign. Girl, I had everything. Girl, I was representing for the bow to the wow. Like, that was my man.
Not Bowington. Not Mr. Shad Moss.
Shad Moss. Like, him. I just was obsessed with Bow Wow at that time, girl.
It was all of them, though.
And I had so much fun. Like,
it was all of them. It was B2K. It was, who was it? Mario and Romeo. And girl, that was a time. Like, we had Mario. I'm sure every generation feels like this. They always say, oh, you've never seen live music until you go to the concert with, baby. I'm sure Prince did it. Michael did it. The Four Tops did it. The Temptations.
Luther.
Girl, if I could go back in time and go to a Big Luther concert, the way my 35-year-old draws will be on that stage, knowing Luther don't like 35-year-old women. That man didn't want a woman for and nobody cared. Nobody cared. Everybody knew Luther was gay, baby. We didn't care. We was still in there. Everyone needs.
Girl.
Come on, Any Love. Y'all don't know nothing about Big Luther.
Oh, I thought you were going to get it.
Girl, I love Luther, but I just love music in general. Girl.
So who was, now we're waiting for you to tell us, what was your first concert? Because you missed Scream Tour, and that's crazy.
Girl, after the Super Bowl this year, I don't want to tell nobody. It was Alicia Keys.
What is it?
She ain't act right.
Jerrilyn, I'm speechless.
Me too.
I'm literally
speechless too.
How old was you?
I was 14, and it was for my 14th birthday, so it was summertime. I was happy to go. You know, I'd never been to a concert before, and I really didn't do things like that. So I was just excited to be out the house without, you know, like parent supervision, hanging out with my friend. Like, I wasn't the type of person that wanted to go do anything bad. I just wanted to go out and see, you know, other people and stuff. So I just remember, and it was more my speed anyway, because I never grew out of it. To this day, I don't like high energy concerts. Like, I'll watch it back on Instagram Live on the Shade Room.
Got you.
I'm not going to. That's why I've never seen Beyonce live. I've never seen Nicki Minaj live. Yeah. And these are people that I would pay to go see. But when I know how the crowd energy be, like, it'd be too hype in there for me. And so Alicia Keys was just my speed, because by the time she got to Diary and that man came out and tore her up on her own song, I said, sing, Mystery Man. Sing until the cows come home.
Was you singing at 14?
I've been singing since I was 5. I've been singing for a very long time. And so I love Alicia Keys was always somebody I looked up to.
We need some video.
I don't know if I can.
Y'all tell Jerrilyn you want videos of
You
her at
don't.
5
The
singing. We want
vocals
some
was not
videos. We need the
vocaling.
cassette tapes.
The
We
floppy
need the
disk, the
VHS.
jump drive. I don't know. I don't think y'all want me singing these particular songs. I don't know. It was a
I want to
process.
hear.
I had to learn how to get there. And so I'm very thankful for growth. I'm very thankful for wisdom and experience. So it was a fun time though.
Okay.
I enjoy singing live music. I go to like a little lounge or something like that. So it was one of those things. I think concert,
For
yeah, girl,
real.
I'll do a live band. Girl, I will get up on stage. I did karaoke last week with my homegirl at a live event, and girl, you'll never guess who was hosting. The twins from Jagged Edge. They were there doing.
Get out. Are you
Girl, I sang in
serious?
front of the Casey twins.
Are things not going well? Are things? Where are things?
Lynee,
Where are things right now?
Lynee, please, Lynee.
I'm so sorry.
Please.
I don't know. How do we get to karaoke? That's
No,
drastic.
they were just hosting
That was
it.
drastic. That was
They
a
was just
drastic
hosting it,
switch
but it was
up.
so fun though.
Oh, okay.
They had keys and drums, and then they had like the DJ was there playing the music in the background. But girl, I sang live, and it was so fun. I think I did. I actually did Alicia Keys. I did If I Ain't Got You, the version she was supposed to sing at the Super Bowl. So it was actually a very fun time. I enjoyed myself. The people that was there looked like they enjoyed it.
Jerrilyn, let me tell you a pet peeve.
Don't get on me today because I already know what you're finna say. People who can sing, they go to karaoke.
What you know I'm about to say? No, exactly. Get your ass off the stage. Get your
I can't go to karaoke.
Get your ass off the stage.
I love to sing though.
No, because you already can sing. You already got your own stages. Like Rod, you taking over for the 99 and the 2000. That's for us who don't sing. You don't belong here. You're not allowed.
It'd be so fun. And it's fun to me because they be
taking
drinking,
the fun out of it.
and you can tell people I enjoy watching people who can't sing. Not because it's not like punishment or something like that, but I just like to see people be joyful. Mm-hmm. And there are no stipulations. Like when I go to karaoke, people are not listening to make sure I hit the right notes. So it's practice for me. It's practice for live performances. I don't see it the same way people who can't sing see it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going there for something different. I'm like,
of course you don't.
I'm like, y'all feel all right in here tonight? If you're with your lover, go ahead and grab their hand right now. You right there with the pinstripe suit.
Then you got stage presence? No. Then you got stage presence? I don't like this. I don't like your stage presence. What? You're doing too much.
Girl, I be trying to set the mood in there.
No.
Y'all gonna have a good time in here tonight.
Jerrilyn, no.
Baby, this is my concert.
See, now you're hosting. I'm so irritated
Make sure
with
y'all
this.
tip your bartenders, your waitresses.
Hosting, stage present. She's a singer.
Get home safe. Girl, you sang one song. Sit down. Boo, tomatoes.
Oh, Jerrilyn.
I'm just saying, it do be fun though.
I can't believe you,
karaoke, girl. It's fun. It's fun. So if we can't go to karaoke, then where can we go? Because it's upsetting me and my homegirls.
Because if you can't go to Villa Noches, no friends.
That was a good time. All right. Let me get off of it because I will strike up another solo. Sister to Sister this week. We got, we want to hear from you guys. So we got speakpipe.com/she said it first, where you guys can tap in, leave us a voicemail, ask us for advice, get our insight on anything that you're going through. And so this week we have a voicemail from a young lady. She got a very interesting question, and I feel like it's multi-layered. So let's take a listen and see what she's talking about.
Hi, ladies. So I have a quick question. My niece is a military child. She lives on base. Her father is in the service, and she's in high school. It's her first year of high school, and she's been talking to someone, texting with one of the young boys from her school, and he also lives on base as well. But her father has found out that they're been a little bit more friendlier than he would want them to be. And my question is, what would be a good age for little girls to start dating, or at least talking on the phone and having casual conversations with boys?
That was a good question. First of all, you know, Daz
I
is
was about to say.
overprotective, girl. So I just think their timeline, she'll be 50 before she can even start dating and texting boys, girl, in a
Right.
wheelchair at the nursing home. He'd be like, finally, it's time. It's time now. Like,
I don't know. It's tricky. I think
girl,
it matters
so
like the
I
age
just
and
think,
stuff. Like her being on a military base and it's her father. I'm guessing is the mother in the picture. I don't know. I have lots of additional questions that I would love to ask because it seems like to me if the dad is the one
yeah,
doing the decision making, Shorty can't date until she's married.
she
Like,
ain't dating. She ain't dating. Yeah, I want to say she ain't dating no time soon. But I feel like, all right, so for me, I'll just use my life as like when I started dating. I started dating and like, girl, I had a little boyfriend when I was real young, but anybody know about it. I started dating when my mama knew about it in the 7th grade.
yeah.
7th grade, so you like 12? Is that 12? I think you like 12. And I was hanging out with him and going to like school dances and stuff with him. Like we wasn't going out to the movies or nothing, but like I was allowed to go with him to like school dances or like games or like whatever functions like that with him in the 7th grade. And we wasn't doing nothing for real. Like the most we was doing maybe like a peck, but I didn't even know. Girl, I didn't know how to do all that extra kissing. I only knew how to kiss regular. I wasn't advanced yet, so it was very Caucasian kissing going on there. So,
Not
so like, girl,
rom-com
but
kiss.
I don't know. It was such a rom-com kiss. It was like soap opera, but I don't know. I don't know what he considers inappropriate. That's so broad. I wish he would have told us what's inappropriate because then I feel like I would be able to
Right.
gauge
Because what was
this
they
a little
texting
bit better.
about?
If we talking about sex, if they sexting, then
Right.
yeah, we got a problem. But if they kind of just talking about how much they like each other and he thinks she pretty or cute or something, I don't think it's that
Girl,
serious.
maybe I'm just old fashioned and an old prune because I feel like I had a boyfriend a whole boyfriend that my parents knew about at 14. But we wasn't doing nothing. Like we would sit at the library together after school. My mom would pick me up. We went to like prom, or homecoming dances and stuff like that. We might have went and got food or something. Like we wasn't doing nothing serious. I now at 35, knowing what I know about these women and these men, I would say my child probably can't go on dates until they have acquired a driver's license and not the kind that is just a permit that is still vertical.
Girl, get out my face.
I need the horizontal ID
Not 21.
that says this person is no longer. Because I don't know, it'd be too much going on. And I think, kids by nature are sneaky and they want to do more than they're allowed to do because they don't understand the true dangers that are going on out there. Like we just said, we need more clarification. What are these kids talking about? Because if they're talking about their favorite cartoon or video games, then it's essentially harmless. But if he talking about show me your titties, like we got to burn the whole base down.
We got a problem. But how do you feel about I'm done. But how do you feel about like kissing? Like, is that bad? Do you feel like they shouldn't be kissing? She's technically 14. So we're talking about, she said her first year in high school, she's 14. So she was your age when you had a full boyfriend. So like, is kissing bad? Is talking about kissing bad?
I think you shouldn't be kissing unless you're ready to have sex. And I don't think anybody 14 years old is ready to have sex. Because because these dudes today, they're not wired to stop at kissing. Their bodies are literally going to tell them to move forward. And dudes don't be having conversations about consent with their kids. You don't know what you're inviting. And I put that in quotation marks because obviously anything I wear or how I present myself to you or what we're doing in the moment does not justify you, taking my body. But I think that it just opens the door.
Do you feel like that's going on at that age?
Girl, I didn't see the video. I heard about, there was a girl in an elementary school here in Georgia. She was in the bathroom having a train ran on her, and one of the kids recorded it and sent it around the school.
Girl, that happened in my school
and
too.
This child was in middle school. So I'm not going to be naive and say that any of this is not going on. I think it's 100% going on. And I can't make you not do it. But all I can do is tell you, listen, you can control every decision that you make, but what you don't have control over is the consequences. That could be a baby at 14. That could be a terminal STD. That could be something life-altering that you're not ready for.
So conversation. What I'm hearing is conversation. Like, is he having a conversation or is he noticing things like you can never talk to him again? Because I feel like if you do that, then she does become rebellious. Now she is sneaky. Now she don't tell you what's really going on. So like, how do you stop that? Still allowing them to be a teenager, but not like making it where they feel like they got to sneak around you. Like, make sure you having a conversation and not being so in your feelings about the possibilities of maybe she might get pregnant. She can get an STD. Like, stopping yourself from getting there and just being like, wait, I need to really talk to you about something. You know, like, talk to me for real about y'all relationship. And do you really like him? What type of person? And meet the boy. We old enough to be able to clock that tea real quick. Like, oh, no, you're not talking to him. Absolutely not. You know, so I just feel like more conversation instead of just kind of cutting her off immediately, figuring out what's really going on. Give her some type of way to have an explanation because she has a voice too. Like, don't just cut kids off because you feel like they don't know what they talking about. I really don't like that. Like, I like for kids to express themselves and say what's really going on.
I think my parents too, they would let, like, a boy could come over to the house, but I wasn't just joyriding the streets with him, you know. But it's like that. Like, people they don't be doing that no more. You know, like, these kids would be like, oh, I'm going to the movies with my friends, and they'll meet up with this boy that you've never met before. You don't know who his parents are. We don't know what type of things he's into. These kids at today are selling drugs. They are involved in all types of craziness. And so, like you said, definitely a conversation needs to be had. There just needs to be structure and discipline surrounding it, because there is not a 14-year-old on this planet that is mature enough to handle sex and all the things that come with it without fully knowing, you know, the whole dynamic. Like, it'd be a lot. Like, I'm 35 and sometimes I struggle. Like, that's why the whole subject about younger women dating older men is so tricky for me, because baby, you got 40-year-olds out here still getting duped by people. Like, it happens. Like, when the emotions are in it and you really feel this for somebody and you want them to like you, and it'd be a lot going on. So I need to know what these kids are talking about, where they talking about it at, what is they doing during the conversation, you know, like
that part.
Exactly.
What did you mean when you said
attachments that I'm seeing in your outbox? You know, like, I need to know. And how do you feel about parents putting this like spyware on their kids' phones? Because I know a lot of these people can, like, not necessarily clone their phones, but there's like an app where you can see their conversation. I think that's a bit of an invasion of privacy. I don't know.
Yeah, I
feel like that is almost.
Oh, I want to see.
That would make me rebel.
Oh, I want to see, because if you know I can see. If you know I can see, you ain't gonna do too much. I won't even check it. That's the thing. I feel like when I have kids, I'm gonna have a relationship whereas I won't even check it. But the thing is, if you know I can see what you're doing, you won't try it. I think that's just the biggest thing. I don't want to invade your privacy. I don't really want to know. But I also, like, if my child end up missing somewhere, I need to be able to get her phone. I don't know where she at. You know, not saying anything like that, but kids end up abducted. You know, they on certain sites. You know, human trafficking, things like that. Like, I need access to your phone so I know what you're doing. I won't invade your privacy all the time, but if anything go down, I don't got time to try to figure out what your password is.
That is not the vibe. I'm calling my friends at the CIA. We're getting to the bottom of it.
For real, like, hell yeah. I want to know what's going on. Somebody got my daughter, my child, my son, whomever. You better believe I'm going to have access to certain things until you get to a certain age. Then it is invasion of privacy. But yeah, I ain't with that. But girl, I had thought about a story that happened when I had a boyfriend. I was 13. I was in the 8th grade. And it's so crazy because we was bringing up Mario and he looked like Mario. And that's why I was so infatuated with him. He had them big nostrils like Mario.
Nice.
He did.
Oh.
I'm starting to think I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, he had big nostrils like Mario, and he had them straight back corners, and they was so even. They was just like straight back, and I would braid his head.
Girl, he did a number on you, baby. He did a number on you, sister. Oh my God.
Girl, long story short, my mother went out of town. And he lived, not Forestville. He lived in Forestville, but I'm trying to, like, give you how far away he was from me. Maybe, like, 15 minutes or whatever away from me. Mind you, we 13. So I told him my mother had went out of town, but my sister lived next door to me. So that's why I was able to kind of be in the house by myself. And my friend was there with me. Like, she stayed with me, one of my best friends at the time. And so, next thing I know, he had came to my house. And so he had picked me up, girl. And I was in the car with him and we was driving like around, girl. We went
You
to
was
the
living it
mall. We
up.
went to PG Mall. We got popcorn, girl. We was eating. Girl, I never did that before. Like, somebody come give me a 13 in a van. Like,
In a
I never do.
van.
Long story short, he stole his neighbor's grandmother's van.
You were an accomplice,
And
sweetie.
let me
You're a
tell you,
victim.
he
You're a
stole
victim
his.
and an accomplice. Don't go to the station and tell that story. You're going to jail. Okay? You better hope the statute of limitations done ran out because you're going to jail.
Oh my God. My stomach hurt because I can't deal. Girl, why was I in that van with that 13-year-old, right? And we got stopped by the police, girl. And they said that they knew that he was too young because he couldn't see over the steering wheel. So he was standing up and like driving. Like, he was so
Oh
short.
my
He was
gosh.
standing up driving. And they could tell because the
Right.
van, it's not a car, it's a van. So he like in this joint.
Girl, I'm surprised y'all didn't get arrested.
Driving like this. Girl, I was on mine. I did not know this was stolen. This is my first time
Girl,
meeting
now,
this man. I
now
don't
you
know
done flipped
him.
on
I'm
them.
sorry to that man. Sorry to that man. Sorry to that man, girl. The police ended up like having to
Oh
take
my
the car
gosh.
home, calling his parents, all of that stuff. And then they had went and got my sister, girl, and I got in so much trouble. But that was it. I just remember that time. So you're right.
Girl,
You're right.
just
You just
racking
never
up
know what
the
your kids is
felonies.
up
Because I'm
to.
wondering if extra surveillance or monitoring their text messages would make them just sneak around more. Because you don't have to teach kids how to be manipulative or how to lie or how to, like, if they think that they can do something dishonest to get what they want and there might not be any immediate consequences, they're going to do it every time. They have to learn. Like, that's the problem with us as adults. We think that there are no immediate consequences for a lot of the things that we do. If you lost a finger every time you had premarital
That's
sex,
so
you'd
true.
be a virgin.
I'm done with you. Yeah, that is true though. So, like, if you have a child and they are basically like on it, would you just take it sometimes and look like how do you know what's going on if you give them all of that privacy? Like, are you gonna say, well, let me just see your phone real quick sometimes? Or it's just like whatever that's your phone, that's your business, that don't have nothing to do with me.
I think it's what you said. I think it's open conversations. I think nobody, back in the day, I'm not your little friend, and while I'm not trying to be a child's friend, I do want you to know that you have a friend in me. But my first obligation is to be your mother. And so your safety, your well-being is always going to be the number one priority for me. But talk to me and let's figure this out together, because you also don't need to feel like you need to hide anything or that you're by yourself and you need to figure things out on your own. Because if I can give you something that will keep you from making mistakes that maybe I made or mistakes that some of your friends are making, then I want you to have that direct line of communication with me. And that needs to be out of everything that I want my child to know about me, because that is an issue that I had as a child. I knew if I did anything wrong, I was either getting a whooping or going on punishment. So some things I didn't want to share because I didn't want the lecture that I knew that was going to come with it. And I never want my child to feel like it's going to be automatic punishment. You need to know that I plan, if I have kids, I plan to tell them, I don't care what is going on. If you feel unsafe, if you're in trouble, if you need help, I don't care what time of night it is, call my phone. I will come get you. No questions asked. We can talk about it in the morning. I need to know that you're safe. And that's the kind of conversations that I want to have.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like that's how my mom was. Yeah, that's the type of parent my mom was. Like, I got in trouble. Obviously, I'm giving you a glimpse into my life. So, like, girl, I got into a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And my mom would just always show up for me. Like, even if I got in trouble, she still would just show up for me.
Yeah.
I just appreciate that so much. Like, because I felt safe. There was stuff that I did sneak around with, but not a lot of
That's
stuff.
good. That's good that y'all had that kind of relationship. Because a lot of kids just don't feel like they can talk to their parents. And those are the types of things that lead to sneaking around and teen pregnancy and suicide and all these other things that kids be in. And folks be like, well, where was her mama at? At the house. She was at the house. Not being concerned about, what the kid was really going through. So hopefully that's maybe something that we can bundle into the mental health episode.
Did we answer her question?
How is it? What's the age to date? Because I told you the answer. The answer is no.
Right. What is it? I'm done. Not the answer is no.
It depends. I think you got to see what kind of child
I think she's
you got.
at a good
You
age.
need to know what kind of child you got, because some 14-year-olds are a lot more mature. You got 14-year-olds that'll go exactly where you give them permission to go and come right back home. Then you got those that'll go joyriding for an extra 30 minutes. They repeatedly miss curfew. They ain't got good grades. They're not doing their chores. They're constantly talking back at school. Those kids shouldn't be allowed privileges until you learn discipline and structure. It's like giving a pair of scissors to a 1-year-old. You don't know the function of these. You don't understand the danger that could be associated with these. You're not able and ready to handle this responsibility. So once I see that you're ready to handle this responsibility, you will be given more leeway. Until then, you're on a leash.
Darlene's like, no. I feel that. For me, I would say 14 though. For me, I would say 14 and just see what happens. I do think that this father is not going to budge up off her. I don't think she has an option. She not dating. It's not happening.
He in the military
it's
too?
Not gonna happen. Not on his watch.
Hello, fix his life.
It's not happening.
Because
like,
no. But maybe that's a conversation that we can have. I think it's important for, like you said, kids to be able to express themselves. So maybe that's a conversation we can have as far as mental health. Because, growing up in a Black home, baby, options, opinions, thoughts. Take that up with the Lord, honey. Because you don't pay no bills up in here. You don't pay no bills in here. What do you mean?
You don't have no say
thought. Well, think again. Wrap it up. No. But that, that's, I think we should talk about that some more. I hate to have to wrap up this episode because I feel like we touched on some really, really dope topics this episode. I love the way this podcast is turning out. So, that's the episode today, guys. Make sure you guys are checking in with us, liking and commenting and sharing and subscribing. Lynee, what you have to tell people before we clock out of here?
That make sure y'all check in with us like Jerrilyn. Do what the lady told you to just do. What's the problem? Like, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we upload, okay? On the She Said It First podcast.
That's it right there. We're going to see y'all next time.